I didn't know that when I got dressed this morning that my outfit choice would be so apt for the day's news. I'm beyond heartbroken to hear the news this morning that the Washington Post has decided to lay off a third of their staff. See, in 2007, Bob Woodward, half of the investigative journalist team that led to uncovering the Watergate scandal in the 70s, said that democracy dies in darkness. And a couple of years later, the Washington Post decided to roll that out as a slogan. And that was around the same time that Jeff Bezos, tech bro billionaire he is, purchased the paper. Now, I and many others were worried that this would lead to the Washington Post being fully co-opted and losing its independence and vitality as an important voice in American politics. And I was right, and all of you who thought that were right too. But I don't want to be right. We need a fair and free press, because now the only thing that is rewarded is clicks, and the algorithm does not favor truth. It favors viral moments. And the 24/7 news cycle is only working to divide us more and more because it rewards punditry and sick burns over actually uncovering the facts of what is going on and holding those in power to task and to be accountable to the people.
So Washington Post, which is owned by Jeff Bezos, they laid off roughly one third of his staff. You had people going crazy like this woman here, but people don't understand what she said in the beginning. She said a fair and free news outlet. There's no such thing as free. See, everybody wants to do things and put everything out, but they want to do it for free or they want to receive things for free. They said that the Washington Post had large financial losses of estimated 100 million in 2024 and probably 2025 as well. So how can you have press when you need money? See, we have people that overreact to things and understand that the news is about business. It's about ad revenue. So if you're not writing things to where we can get ad dollars, then we have to cut you. They cut off, they said sections at the sport desk, book coverage, all these things have been cut off. It's because it's not making money. We have to start thinking about money. There's a lot of people that live in this la la land talking about we don't need money. It just needs to be fair and free. Everything needs money. So if you want a journal or you want a newspaper that's going to have all the things that you want, you better make sure that you can make money. People skip over the money part. People forget about the money. You're outraged, you're upset, but you're not talking about he just got rid of the fat of the people that can't write, that can't bring in ad dollars. The newspaper and the traditional newspaper have always been struggling against the digital platforms. That's just what it is. And that's what Jeff Bezos and Washington Post did. They had to cut the fat. We have to cut the losers. This is why you have to be honest with your kids when they're young. It's about winners and losers. If you can't make this newspaper money by your dialogue, by what you're writing, and I have to let you go because I have a business to run. This is what's wrong when you listen to people on the Democrats and the liberals. They make it seem like money is not a problem. We don't need to worry about money. But you want to get paid, right, for what you do. You want to get paid for the articles that you write. But if you're giving me terrible articles, if you're giving me articles that I can't make money off of, you still want to get paid the money that you think you should get paid. No, the business has to make money if you want to write for this paper. So I guarantee he kept the sections of his newspaper that actually make money. This has nothing to do with the media. This has nothing to do with silencing you. It's about money. What I like about money is simple. Either you make it or you don't. See, the people that can't take accountability for their terrible writing or their terrible job will always go around and go away from money. But money is very simple. It's either you make it or you don't. Do I feel bad for the people getting laid off? For sure. But what should I tell them? Get better. Work on your craft. Go harder. Don't blame Jeff Bezos. Look at yourself and say, what did I do wrong? Did I bring in ad dollars? I guarantee a lot of people that got pissed off about being laid off didn't ask themselves, did I make money for the company? See, a lot of you guys are content with just being with the company and not doing anything to add value to the company. That is what's wrong with a lot of people, especially the people that get laid off. The reason why you got laid off is because you're not an asset. We're at 2026 where it's all about assets and liabilities. So you have a lot of these people mainly liberals that live in the la la land and not understand it's about making money or not.
And that is why, if elected to Congress, I will absolutely make moves to refund vital programs of independent journalism, such as Voice of America, NPR, and PBS. And I will also work to ensure that we implement things like AI code of conduct and put those on social media companies, because social media is not journalism. Those folks are not trained. And the purpose of social media is to get clicks and to make impressions and to work with the algorithm, not to work for the people and ensure that the truth is the highest form.
I don't ever trust politicians that try to get in off of a one movement. Because what people understand and people know now, you may want to push that, but if you get into Congress, that means you got to convince all these other people to get this bill passed, which will take forever. So we're not going to believe that. And then also too, the new news, what I call it, is actually better than the traditional news because now you have people talking about it from all different types of perspectives. Before, these newspapers used to be in charge of what the people would get. Now that is not the case. The new media, the new people that are reporting and giving their side of the story now gets the news to the people, to everybody, but gives it different perspectives. Nobody wants the traditional media back. The reason why is because traditional media is able to shape the narrative. So that's what it was. People understand that. People rather go to social media where sometimes, and man, I don't want to say sometimes, most of the time, a lot of the news on there is not biased. It's just from a different perspective. Or back in the day from traditional news, what everybody used to say was they always shaped the narrative. They told you what they want to tell you and they kept out what they didn't want to tell you. But I just don't like when people try to get on here. I'm guessing she's a politician. I don't know who she is exactly. But you're trying to do Congress, you're trying to pass a bill, but I don't believe that. You can't go in there in Congress and pass a bill right away. It's going to take you years to do it.
Of validation. But here's the thing.
And I can't stand people that talk like this. She talks like this. Any politician that comes to me and talks like this, I do not trust you because this is like what people do to lie. Clinton did it. Obama did it. A lot of these people did this. They talk like this. And I just can't stand politicians. Gavin Newsom does it. Just stop talking like that. That's just like she's doing it. And I automatically just don't want to trust her.
Democracy, it absolutely does die in the dark. And when the Washington Post decided to stop doing presidential endorsements in 2024, we were inching closer and closer towards obscurity. But here's the good thing. We all know that this is wrong. And so we must keep marching towards the light to preserve our democracy, to make it stronger, and to make sure that those in power answer to those who they should be answering to. And that is you and me as voters. And that, my friends, is why I am running for Congress, to restore America to what it absolutely should be.
I don't think that any newspaper should endorse any presidential candidate because that shows bias. The media is supposed to be non-biased, but we all know the liberal papers, we know the conservative papers and the networks, we know that. But by Washington Post not saying they're going to endorse a candidate, good. Their job is to report the news. Their job is not to endorse a candidate or sway people to a certain candidate. That's not the job of media. See, what it was before, the media was doing that. They will sway you to a candidate and talk bad about another one. This is what you see in, the news media, right? The Foxes, the CNNs, the CBSs, they all have their favorite candidate. But for Washington Post to come out and say, we're not going to endorse a candidate, that's pretty good. That's not bad. Because they're like, we want to report the news without any bias. That's what the news should be. But we obviously can tell that this woman is a Democrat. She has to be a Democrat because you're talking about democracy. You're trying to spark emotion. You're talking about give the power back to the people. These people got laid off from Washington Post. It sucks, but they got laid off because they didn't bring the money in. Layoffs has to do with capital. You see UPS do layoffs. You see Amazon do layoffs. It's all about how much money can you bring into the company. Are you an asset or a liability? Straight up. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the notification bell to see all the new videos from the channel. Also, too, make sure you join the Go Getter Patreon. Link is in the description below. Also, I want you one more thing. Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, West Coast time. No Filter Morning Show. You got me talking about all these events, all these things that's happening. Chop it up with me, comment, do everything, and we're gonna keep it rocking, keep it rolling. I'm out. Appreciate you guys.